but the major reason is junk food,
Okay.
hormonal imbalance, lifestyle, totally sedentary lifestyle.
Late marriages in itself, and that costs them because they don't get the fertility rates gets decreased because of that.
18 to 29. This is a common age group. I have seen the people come with the low AM.
Hello and welcome to Awaz the Voice. This is Yasmin Khan. Before I start this report, I have a question. Why are families in Jammu and Kashmir becoming smaller? There has been a report that has come to limelight, and the report is saying that there has been a significant drop in the fertility level of J&K, especially in the Kashmir region. The drop is significantly visible. There must be some reasons that the drop has happened. However, to understand this, Awaz the Voice is going to talk to several health experts, psychiatrists, and also some economists. Also, the myth has been busted because it was believed that Muslims across the country are producing more babies. However, now the report is saying something else. But still, we'll figure out the aspects that has led to this significant drop in this report for Awaz the Voice. For generations, large families were common in Kashmir, but that picture is changing. According to NFHS 5, Jammu and Kashmir's total fertility rate stands at 1.4 children per woman. It was 2.01 in the previous survey. The replacement level is around 2.1, and the difference between urban and rural areas is also important. Urban J&K recorded a fertility rate of around 1.2 compared with 1.5 in rural areas. So why are people having fewer children? We have been joined by Dr. Ifra Jan, who is currently working as fellow addiction psychiatrist. So, Ifra will tell us about how this infertility rate has linked towards psychiatry. Thank you, ma'am, for sparing your time for this interview.
Thank you for having me here.
Most welcome. So, there are a lot of questions in my mind. So, first, I would want to know that do you have people coming in who are of the opinion that they don't want family as of now? And what are the reasons that they say that they don't want to have family in this stage?
So I would just start with saying that we get a chunk of people who are concerned about conceiving. They don't. They have delay in their childbirths. And that is one set of patients, and there is another set of patients who actually don't want more than two kids. So there can be a lot of reasons to this. First and foremost, the work culture. Both the parents are working, so they don't get much time to give to the kids. That's one reason. Financial stability, career orientation of both parents, be it mother or father, that is one of the reasons. And more than that, in Kashmir particularly, late marriages can be a reason. Late marriages in itself has its own reasons. Kashmiri cultures where you have to spend a lot of money, lot of bucks to get married in first place. So that is one of the reasons of late marriages in itself, and that costs them because they don't get the fertility rates gets decreased because of that.
Okay. So, are there couples who come in and say that there's a lot of social pressure from in-laws or from society to conceive and have a baby?
Yeah, that is there. In Kashmiri culture, it's just weeks of marriage, and you get to get questions from your in-laws. It's not always in-laws, from your own families. When are you planning a child? And that is in itself stressful to the couple in itself. Plus, there are preferences by the preferences of the people, like the couple. There are couples who don't prefer having a child in the first year of their marriage, having their own personal reasons, whether I talked about the career orientation or other plans they have. So all these things, like, they add up to the stress of the couple in itself, and Later on, these things can also contribute to the decreased fertility because it will lead to advancement of the age and decreased fertility rates.
Fertility is not only a medical issue, it is also about choices. Young couples today are studying longer, looking for jobs, and trying to become financially stable before starting a family. For many, having two children is no longer a compromise, it is a conscious decision. And this is where mental health becomes important. We have been joined by Dr. Basina, who is the senior resident. Thank you so much, Doctor, for sparing your time for this conversation.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I would like to know that since before this interview, I told you that there has been a report that says that there has been a significant drop in the fertility rates. However, in Kashmir, we have also seen this drop. So, I would want to know what are the major factors behind this drop, or do you have some couples coming in and saying that they are deliberately avoiding pregnancy?
First of all, I want to incite on one thing, that it's a multifactorial. There is no one factor which can affect the fertility.
Okay.
It's multifactorial. And second thing, I have come across various couples who came and who just want to have a baby as soon as possible.
Oh.
Whenever they are getting married, it is just adding up a stress to the newly married couples.
Okay.
I have came across a lot of couples who are coming to me after 1-2 months of marriage. They are telling, we want to have a baby as soon as possible.
Okay.
They are having pressures, societal pressures, family pressures, and this is one of the reasons which adds up to the stress
Okay.
to the newly married couple. And the main factors which are responsible for dropping fertility of the state, I guess, and I think, and I'm coming across various patients during OPD, I think this is multifactorial. First of all, the conscious decision. Those are very, this is very rare. I have seen that very rare. But the major reason is junk food,
Okay.
hormonal imbalance, lifestyle, totally sedentary lifestyle. Most of the age group is 18 to 28. They have destroyed their lifestyle. They are just sitting eating junk food. They are not preferring the home cooked food. They are just their hormones have been blown up. This is one of the major reasons. What I have came across in this OPD. I see 40 to 50 patients up to 5 p.m.
Okay.
So this is one of the main reasons. And your conscious decision is very low.
Okay.
Conscious.
But there are people,
And there are other reasons, that is unexplained infertility.
Yeah.
You can't explain what is the reason. The other factors are okay, everything is normal, but you can't say what is happening and what is. And the reason these days is low AMH.
Okay.
I have came across very young patients who are coming, most of the problems are seen with the teenage group, and 21 to 18 to 29. This is a common age group. I have seen the people come with the low AMH.
Okay.
Yeah, low AMH and premature ovarian failure. This is also one of the reasons. I have seen 2-3 patients who were very young, but they have just recently got married, but their reports are showing something else. But those are very less.
Okay.
But one of the most reason is lifestyle. The youth here in J&K needs lifestyle modification.
Yeah. So marriage in Kashmir has become a costly affair. There are a lot of girls who are getting married. I think they are above 40 or so. So do they come in and say, like, we're not, conceiving, there's some problem? How do you treat such patients, and do you think such cases are treatable?
Yeah, I think 40 across you. It's not the age, like egg numbers are decreasing. We know that women has a biological clock, but that doesn't mean it is impossible. After 40, quantity doesn't matter. It's the quality which matters. Eggs are decreasing, but if you have 3 4 eggs, yeah, one egg, pregnancy is still possible.
Does anxiety about the future also, contribute in family planning decline?
Yeah, anxiety overall can lead to decline in the family planning because we get a lot of patients here in our OPDs also who have anxiety issues and what we call as performance anxiety. So in first place, they have anxiety symptoms and they are not able to go into that intimate relationship with their partner. So that can also lead to decreased fertility rates. And in those patients, we have to treat the underlying anxiety, and patients do very well on treatment.
So Kashmir traditionally, like our ancestors, had a lot of children. So are we moving away from how many children should we have to? Can we have children, and is it possible to manage them because it's a costly affair of sending them to high privileged schools?
Yeah. I think there cannot be one single reason for this. Like people are shifting from having large families to having small families, nuclear families of 2 or 3 kids only. So there are a lot of reasons. Financial constraints are there. Work culture of parents. I said already, both parents are working, so they cannot afford having many children and paying somebody else taking care of those children in long run. Other than that, I would say the late marriages. That is one of the reasons, that because you marry late, fertility is decreased, and obviously you have less children.
There are delayed pregnancies, or there are pregnancies that happen due to some reasons, like somebody has a cyst inside or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. So how does it affect the fertility rate?
It depends. I can't say, like it depends what kind of cyst and size and all that. But yeah, it has now become a nuisance for the, for this 18 to most 21 to 29, 33 years. Yeah, PMOS.
Okay.
It has PCOD, polycystic ovarian syndrome, but now metabolic syndrome. It has become a nuisance because of the hormonal imbalance. What the people are preaching through the unhealthy eating habits, only watching, eating and sitting and sedentary lifestyle. But this has damaged the society.
Okay.
I think this is one of the main reasons. Otherwise, I am getting the couples who are only married for 3 months, 2 months. They are getting apprehensive. We are not, conceiving because everybody is telling fertility is dropping. They are aware about this fact, and they are coming that we want to have the child as soon as possible.
So are there some healthcare issues that has led to this drop? Because I think most of the women in Kashmir have high TSH levels. Can this
That
be one of the factors?
Yeah, yeah. Hi, this is the Himalayan belt. We are coming into the Himalayan belt. So TSH, hypothyroidism, it's very rampant here. So yeah, it is one of the reason. But the other factors are obesity. The other factors, including obesity, and obesity is one of the major factor, and stress. And sedentary lifestyle, these things.
Apart from stress, if one partner in a relationship, for example, one partner is into drugs or alcohol, does it also affect the fertility rate?
I would say that if one of the spouse is into drug addiction, that overall hampers the family dynamics, the family functioning, the relationship of the wife and husband, and that in long run obviously have an implication on on fertility, and after having kids on their kids' personalities and kids' upbringing also. Overall, it has a lot of things to do with the family dynamics, the family functioning, and the kids in itself.
Then comes perhaps the biggest questions. Can families afford to have more children? Education, healthcare, housing, and the cost of raising a child have all become major considerations for young couples. For many families, having a child is no longer just about feeding and clothing them. Parents want to provide better education, better healthcare, and better opportunities, but that comes with a cost. There is another important dimension to this story. Kashmir is a Muslim majority region, yet fertility has fallen sharply. This tells us that religion alone cannot explain family size. Education, urbanization, marriage age, economic conditions, and access to contraception can all influence reproductive choices. NFHS 5 shows that about 60% of currently married women in Jammu and Kashmir were using contraception. So, the question is no longer simply whether people want children, it is also about how many children they want and when they want them. The fertility decline also raises another question. What happens to Kashmir if this trend continues? Fewer children today means a smaller young population tomorrow. It could eventually affect the workforce, aging population, and the structure of Kashmiri society. But there is another side to this story. A low fertility rate can also mean that families are investing more in each child, better education, better health care, and more opportunities. So, this is not simply a story about favored children, it is a story about how Kashmir's idea of family is changing.